Greetings. I'm talking about this fuel pump here, okay? Here's the new one, the aftermarket. Here's the old one. I'm in, not exactly the trunk. See, this is the trunk of my car. And then I have unfolded my back seat, as it had been done actually a couple years ago because I needed to move some poles. So, you might not have the convenience of position as much as I do. And I don't recommend it because it's extremely hard to put back together. So, say you're in the trunk and you manage to get these fuel lines off of this with or without crying. I put every bit of might and whatnot that my fingers could muster, and I had to come back for the second day because my fingers were just too sore from pulling the first two lines out. And then I gathered the strength and didn't mess them up too much in the process. But you can actually see there's a little crack there, but it seems to still not be too broken. So I hope you have the finger strength it takes to squeeze and pull these things at the same time. And I recommend watching that guy's 20-minute video, although my fuel lines are a little bit different than the ones that he described in detail, just to understand that the delicacy, because you can very easily break something. But really, who cares if you break the old pump, right? You can see I broke the little piece right there. But I mean, that's not actually the hardest part. The hardest part might be not turning this off, although that was extremely difficult. This is the metal plate that holds the fuel pump in. It took a crowbar and a hammer, sticking the crowbar in and banging it to turn, just basically banging this thing to turn it. That part was also enough to make me want to cry, but that's still not even the bad part of replacing your fuel pump. Then you have to splice it, because this new housing is about 3 times bigger than this old housing. See? Old housing, new housing. Okay, so you splice it. Alright, good. Then guess what? This metal plate needs to line up just so. And there's these pegs. Yes, these 1-inch pegs. Once it's on, it's going to have to be about there. That's about where this and that will be when it's on. It will slide into about there. Well, guess what? Does this look like it can obey any law of physics to get it in? Plug it in once it's on because there's these pegs? No. You're screwed, okay? You're absolutely not going to get that on after you put it on. I don't need to put it on to find that out, because I understand how how that's going to work. And you don't want to have to bang this into position more than you have to. Absolutely not. This is a headache. So, what you do, well, you can't really put it on first and then bang it into position, because in the process of turning, this corner sticks out just a little bit, enough that if you're turning it and you're banging it, it's gonna go up to go around and over. It's gonna hit the corner's friction and slide over and around. And guess what? It can't slide sideways while you're trying to turn it flat and hook the grooves. It will not. You can't get it on. So you can't get it on. You can't slide this into place if you plug it in first. And you can't plug it in after you slide it into place. So the only option I see is grinding this original piece of my car off to fit an aftermarket piece. Alright, y'all. It's on. It's not only on, but I drove around to the gas station and made sure it was really on before I bragged about it being on. See? I grinded the peg off. The other peg that was just like this one has been grinded off. And you can see there's no way. There's no way this would have fit with this peg here. No friggin' way. No way at all. But it's on. It's on. It's time for me to seal it up and call it a day, or 2 or 3 days, or however long it took me. But it's on. It is on. Yahoo! Yeah. Hi. Okay, so I wanted to add one more thing, and I think it goes without saying, but just in case, when you're splicing the wires on the fuel pump, you need to have the battery unplugged before you do that, okay? Thanks.